All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about a Spanish verb that has multiple meanings. And you've already seen this verb, the verb hacer, but we're going to talk about some more meanings. So I think that verbs are extremely fascinating because you can take one verb and say it in different sentences and it means completely different things. So, for example, the verb to cut, you can use to cut in a sentence and it can mean to cut with scissors or to cut with a knife. But if I told you that someone cut me in line, you probably would assume that I meant that they cut in front of me without waiting my turn. You wouldn't think that I meant that they cut me with scissors or with a knife or something like that. Although in this day and age, who knows, that's possible, right? So the verb hacer is a Spanish verb that has multiple meanings. We've already learned some of the meanings for hacer, right? We've learned how to use hacer as to do or to make. So I could say, yo hago un pastel, which is I make a cake. Or I could say, mi hermano hace su tarea, which is my brother does his homework. And there you can see that it can either mean to do or to make. It's funny to listen when people who don't speak English as their first language try to use our verbs and figure out how to use them in a sentence. My students in Honduras used to say, I need to make my homework. They would say, oh, I already made my homework. And of course, we would use the verb do, like I did my homework or I'm going to do my homework, but they didn't know the two differences since their verb hacer can mean to do or to make. So today we're going to learn another use for hacer. And in this case, we're going to learn how to use hacer with expressions of time. So if we want to talk about how long something has been going on, or if we want to talk about how long it's been since we did something, like how long ago something happened, we can use the verb hacer. So let's go ahead and start. All right. So we can use the verb hacer with verbs in the present tense to describe actions that began at some point in the past, but they're still going on now in the present. So, for example, I began learning piano, how to play the piano years ago, and I can still play the piano now. So, if somebody asked me how long this has been going on, like how long have you been playing the piano? Then I could answer them and tell them that I've been playing the piano for 25 years. So I'll show you some examples of how you can ask this in Spanish using the verb hacer. So there's actually two different ways that you can ask the question, how long has this been going on? And it really doesn't matter which way you use. You can use either, they're both pretty much the same. Just you can see there's a slight different word order. You can say, ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que esperas en el consultorio? Or you could say, ¿Hace cuánto tiempo que esperas en el consultorio? And both of those questions are asking, how long have you been waiting in the doctor's office? So as you can see, our verb esperar has been conjugated in the present tense. Now, now you're going to see that there's two different ways that you can answer the question when you want to tell someone how long an action has been going on. And you're going to use this formula that you can see on the screen. You're going to use hace plus the amount of time plus k. K is just a connecting word, plus your verb in the present tense, plus any extra details that you want to mention. Those just go at the end of your sentence. So the first example I have for you is if you want to answer the question of maybe somebody asks you, how long have you been working at a certain place? And you want to say, I've been working in this supermarket for 5 years. You would say, hace 5 años que trabajo en este supermercado. Now you'll notice if you're following along with the worksheet that I made for you, that your expression is all scrambled. So you'll have to take each of those pieces that I've given you, kind of like a puzzle, and you have to put them in the correct order. So if you need to pause the video as we're going along to do that and see if you can unscramble those sentences, you can go ahead and do that. This is what your quiz or test will look like. So you will want to make sure that you can figure out how to write a sentence in the correct order using hacer to describe how long it's been since you've done something. So the next example there is if you want to say, I've been waiting here for an hour, you could say, hace una hora que estoy esperando aquí. So I've been waiting here for an hour. It's something that's been going on for a while, and it's still going on now in the present. All right, so here's some más ejemplos. So imagine that someone might ask the question, how long have they been friends? So they might say, ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que ellos son amigos? And then to answer that question, you would say, hace 10 años, or however much time it's been, que ellos son amigos. So they've been friends for 10 years. Hace 3 días que estudian para el examen. So they've been studying for the test for 3 days. So again, another just good example of an action that started in the past. You started studying, but you're still studying now. And so when you come to class, I might ask you, ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que estudian para el examen? How long have you all been studying for the exam? And then you could answer, hace 3 días que nosotros estamos estudiando para el examen. And the last one there, you want to answer how long you've been doing something, a sport or something like that. We've been playing tennis for a long time. You would say, hace mucho tiempo que estamos jugando al tenis. All right. All right. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about, the last use of hacer to describe time is if we use hacer with verbs in the preterite tense. And we do this to describe how long ago an action took place. So this isn't for actions that are still ongoing in the present. This is for actions that happened in the past. So they're over now. Like, for example, how long ago has it been since I went to Honduras? So it's been about a year ago since I went to Honduras. I'm not still in Honduras right now. So we use hacer with verbs in the preterite tense to describe things that happened in the past. Maybe you went on a trip to Hawaii or you went to watch a baseball game somewhere special. So first we'll look at asking the question. So again, there's two ways to ask the question, just like when we use hacer in the present tense. In this case, we're asking how long ago did this action take place? And you can see from the two ways to ask this question, they're exactly the same as when we ask the question in the present tense. All we have to do is change the verb, which is in red, into the preterite tense instead of the present tense. So, ¿cuánto tiempo hace que fuiste a Puerto Rico? Or, just another way to word that, we could say, ¿hace cuánto tiempo que fuiste a Puerto Rico? So, how long ago did you go to Puerto Rico? So, this next section here is just practica. It's giving you a couple questions, and the goal here is to take these questions and turn them into Spanish questions. So using the phrase hace to turn these around and ask a question. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que? And then in this case, she swim. You want to change that verb into the preterite tense. So we know nadar, and since it's ella, it'd be nadó. So, ¿cuánto tiempo hace que ella nadó? How long ago did she swim? So if you'd like, you can go ahead and pause the video and take a couple moments here to answer these questions. And then once you're finished, you can check your answers here and see how you did. So, ¿cuánto tiempo hace que bailamos? Would be how you would ask, how long ago did we dance? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que ellos estudiaron? Again, just notice that all of our verbs now are in the preterite tense because all of these actions, they took place in the past and they're done now. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que ustedes comieron? So how long ago did you all eat? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que salí? How long ago did I leave? Now to answer the question, this is going to be the way that I suggest you answer the question. There are two different ways, and we'll look at those ways briefly. You can do hace plus the amount of time that it's been since you did the action, plus que, plus the verb and the preterite. So, hace 2 horas que Elena nadó. Elena swam 2 hours ago. And again, you'll see that on the worksheet, the handout, there are more sentences to unscramble and see if you can put those in the correct order. So you can do those and then check here to see if you did those right. Hace 6 meses que yo viajé a Cuba. I traveled to Cuba 6 months ago. So you can go ahead and finish these, and then you can also look at this last slide here. You can answer the question without using que if you put the verb first. So the preterite, then plus hace, plus time. So Ana salió hace 5 minutos. So you can just see, you just kind of change the order of the words a little bit. But we will mostly just be focusing on answering the question with this first way. The second way, though, you might see that on a reading comprehension or something like that. So it is just important to be aware of both of the ways that you can word the answer. All right, so that's it with Hacer for today. Just let me know if you have any questions, and I would be happy to set a time when we can talk more about this, and we'll go from there. Hasta luego, clase.